What's up with it, y'all? It's the boy Pushman Mitch. You know what it is. This video is brought to y'all from Wish Free LLC. We're giving away $300 via Cash App. You never know where we're going to announce the winner. You basically have to just text a number. We're going to give you the keyword. If you text that keyword to that number, we will give it to one of the people, one of the select few people who do follow the instructions. We're going to Cash App you directly. So make sure you follow to watch the whole episode. But back again, this your boy Pushman Mitch, host of the No Fluff podcast, and you already know what time it is. I got Miss Akila, aka Miss Cashflows. Welcome to the show, Queen.
What's up?
You already know. So we had to bring you in here. I've been seeing you everywhere going crazy. Credit, business, everything. So you've been getting people funding. I seen you got somebody funded for like $200K. So what's up with that? What's new with you? And why should everybody even follow you?
So I am going to get you funded regardless. Like, it doesn't matter what condition you're in. If you have credit challenges, if you don't know how to navigate the banking system, that's why you should follow me.
Ooh.
Not only that, I'm going to give you the nuggets and the confidence you need to go in, get funded, period. That's just my motto. Get funded. It doesn't matter what needs to happen.
So tell me this. What got you into credit in the first place?
It's a very great question. So I had a business where I had a short-term rental business, scaled it up to 14 units really, really fast using my personal name and my personal credit score, right? Because I had an 815 credit score. So of course, just like all of you, we get approved for things and we're like, hey, we don't need to consider business credit. Scaled up, I was killing it for 5 years straight, getting over $250,000 every year consistently. Hit a bump in the road. I was personally responsible for everything in my business name, even 14 leases. So when I failed, Mitch, I failed hard. It was something like I had never experienced before. I didn't have the proper mentorship. I had a mentor, but it wasn't in the fashion that I needed. I needed a contingency plan to how to get out of the situation I was in. Me going on my own efforts, what did I do? I was like, hey, I'll just use the rainy day fund, which I had $150K cash. Guys, liquidated the entire thing, attempted to live off my credit cards. They lowered all the credit limits and I was busted.
Damn.
Crazy. I ended up filing bankruptcy, went to an attorney.
Damn. Double damn.
Went to an attorney. He's like, oh, like, look, I need to file bankruptcy personally and on the business, right? Wow. And he was like, well, that's $5K. And I was like, well, I don't have that. So I had to literally go down to the courthouse, pick up the packet, and file my own bankruptcy.
Damn. That's crazy. But let's not skip past the part when you said you hit a bump in the road. What was the bump in the road?
The bump in the road was the competition came. A company called Saunders.
Okay.
They're still out there killing it. So when I was in the short-term rental space, I was like a pioneer. So I was in what was known as a blue ocean. It was wide open. So I was able to charge $300 to $500 a night with ease, without competition.
Right.
So fast forward 5 years, when I hit that bump in the road, REITs and hedge funds started getting, on to this Airbnb thing and short-term rentals. They came in and they did to me and other like professional hosts what Walmart did to Kmart. So they came in and they undercut their prices.
Right.
So rather than charging $300 in a place like Chicago where we were located, they were charging $150 a night with amazing views and we just couldn't compete. So I literally went 4 months, 0 bookings.
Damn.
And you know what? That's another thing, like what you say. I wasn't going out fishing. I was depending on the platform, which it was easy for me. VRBO, Airbnb, traveling nurses, they were just feeding me and I was just sitting up. And I learned a lot. You
was getting that passive bag.
And that's what I thought.
All right. No, yeah. I mean, but a lot of people are attracted to passive income, and what happens is just those type of things can happen to you because when we're doing passive income, you're basically just letting your business run itself.
Yeah.
You're not caring about trying to go out there and advertise and market. You're gonna say, look, I put it on a profile. I got a cool profile. I'll let them find me. Yeah. You're not going to find them. So I love to coach active income. I make sure people just stay on their businesses. They're constantly watching the market, constantly seeing what the customers are liking, not liking. But when you get passive income, it's never going to be as much as active. It's good to get there, but I say 5 years active and then you can go to a passive type of bag because now you have established probably the community, you've established a good subject matter of how to run the business, the policies are good to where you can train somebody to be active for you. And it still probably won't make as much as you in there,
Right.
but it's going to still be making more than what it would be if it was completely passive and you didn't do that. So I always teach that.
Exactly.
But in your case, you was able to, you got out of the situation by filing bankruptcy. Do you regret filing bankruptcy?
The only reason I was bleeding, I went to MCAs, I skipped over that. So I was desperate. So, and since I had all this cash flow, so it's 3 reasons that a bank will give you money, right? They'll give it for you for your personal credit, collateral, or cash flow. So I had like a track record on Airbnb and through PayPal of bookings, of money, of cash flow, thousands of dollars coming in on a weekly basis. So I was, even though I was busted and broke, I was able to use that old data to get like 30K here and 40K there.
Right.
But these are merchant cash advances. And I don't know if people, please, listen, if you're coming up under the sound of my voice, once you get to that level, it's over. Because how it's designed is, okay, they give me the 30K, but it's predatory. The interest rate on it is so high, like 30, 40%, that you don't even get a chance to spend it.
Facts.
Really, they dump the monies in your account, but they're taking it out daily or weekly.
Right.
So you can never come up in a situation like that. So it was over with for me. That's it. Don't do MCAs, period.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you did the MCAs and then you filed bankruptcy after?
I did, yeah.
And then are you happy that you filed bankruptcy or did you regret doing that?
What I now know is I would act very differently, but at the time it was the best thing I had to do. Mitch, I had no choice. Me filing bankruptcy, the reason I'm okay with filing bankruptcy because I was being led. I didn't understand. That's why I'm here now.
Right.
I ended up moving to Atlanta from Chicago, went to a financial literacy program. Shout out to him, 500. He's the GOAT. For sure. I'm just joining so I can get rid of my own situation and start a new business and get funding. I see him getting on a private jet. I'm like, this what they doing?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, he can help me get rid of my bankruptcy? Like I had no clue.
Right.
I get rid of my bankruptcy in 5 months. That's the only reason I don't regret it. However, what I now know is I probably wouldn't have done that, understanding the FCRA laws.
Right.
I had no clue what that was and the protections and the laws that I had to work with me.
Right.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you went through all of these things. You got brought down to the bottom, probably, because I can see you being on top at first with the Airbnbs. You was doing your thing.
Yeah.
And then you fell down to the bottom.
Yes.
And you started being resourceful. You had to get MCAs, file bankruptcies, and then you went back, okay, now I'm ready to start over, and you reinvested in yourself.
Yes.
Via recession proof.
Yes.
Okay, and then now you fast forward and you got your credit back up, you got your businesses back up, and now you're educating people to learn from what happened with you.
Yes.
That's dope. So what's today look like business-wise?
So business is amazing. Like I never thought I would be one of those people who actually did something that was purposeful. I tried to run from it. I didn't want to be responsible to or for anyone. Hence my passive job. I was all over the world, disconnected.
Right.
Now I get to get stories and I get to fund people. Just yesterday, a woman who was very afraid just to go and talk to one of my bankers, she was instantly approved for $20,000 as well as a $50,000 business line of credit. So $70,000 from one banker. And I now know I had to go through that and sit in the storm because let me say this, I never struggled with money. So I never, well, my childhood, yes, but as an adult, I never struggled with money. I never had a problem paying bills. So I needed to feel what that felt like to have I never had bad credit. I had to feel what it felt like to have bad credit, unable to get the things that I needed and wanted, unable to get approved for simple things. Me sitting in that storm, it's a different attachment to me when I deal with my client. Because I didn't come here for a paycheck.
Right.
I came here because I had a service to provide and a message.
Absolutely. And now they can actually learn from all the mistakes you made, and you're going to send them not to go to, like you just told them, not to go for MCAs.
No.
Just the different particular things, what not to do because you've already been through it.
Yes, sir.
It's a different level of education. Like I tell people, you can't be an expert unless you went through worst case scenario.
Oh my God.
So I can tell you're an expert because you've been through worst case scenario. So even going through all of that now, when you're helping people get funded, you can tell them, look, stay away from that. Stay away from these. All right, these APR rates are a lot higher. You probably won't be able to level up from doing this type of thing. Secure credit cards are not the way to go. Something you was talking to me about before we were on air. But I do, like I said, I actually love to work with people who are like yourself, who've been through worst case scenario versus a person who's always had it good, because you can't help a person that is in worst case scenario and in between. If you only work with people with good credit, good levels, that means that you don't know what it would take for me to get to where you are.
Exactly.
So that's what I actually prefer. So I'm glad you're like that. So this is what I want you to do, and I love to do this for my audience, is if someone were starting out and they want to start building their personal credit up, where should they start? And then if they want to build a business credit up, where should they start? So I'll just let you, kind of tell them.
That is so amazing. That's my juju, right?
Okay, cool.
Guys, please do stay away from secured credit cards, because we tend to start out with lower credit cards, and on the personal side, they love to credit match. So if you're starting out with a $500 personal secured credit card, and then you go for like a real credit card with Chase or Bank of America or something like that, they're just gonna match the limit you currently have. So here's what I love to do with my clients, because me, myself, I had to start all over. Because with the bankruptcy, once I got it removed, all my accounts went with it. So I was starting from scratch. I had history too, so poor me. But what you can do is, my go-to is Navy Federal. If you cannot get Navy Federal, go to some form of credit union. The reason I love credit unions and Navy Federal in particular is because they have products and services that can help you rebuild your personal credit. So they give out higher credit card limits. All my clients, after you build a relationship with them, you need to increase your internal banking rating, right? So get a personal checking, a personal savings, and do what is known as pledge loans. This is the key to increasing your personal credit internal banking rating with them. So you do a pledge loan, you make sure that the loan is open for at least 24 months. You're able to use the monies that's backed up in the savings account as collateral. You can use that same monies to pay the loan off. It'll be released back to you and create a second line, a third line, a fourth line. And you're creating positive primary lines of credit. So what you do is for instance, say you go with a $2,500 pledge loan, right? Okay. You want to make sure that it's over $1,000 in order to make sure that you're able to have it open for 24 months. So Mike goes for a $2,500 pledge loan. He get approved. The next day, he can then have that monies released to his checking account. He can take that very same money to pay the loan down. Guys, the key is, which I see this a lot of people will prematurely pay the loan off, and it didn't. Exactly, and it didn't serve its purpose. So you want to leave at least a $25 balance in there, just to leave the account open for at least 24 months before you decide to close it, right? Okay. Once you pay it down, as you pay it down, the money is released back to you. What can you do? You can take that money and create another line. Quite powerful. Two things are happening. You're building and increasing your internal banking rating with Navy Federal. And number two, you're creating positive lines on your personal credit. But that rating is so high because now it looks like Mike not only received a loan from Navy Federal, but he paid 90% of it off. Rating goes through the roof. I always see increases, and installment loans are just extremely powerful.
Okay, so let's explain the difference, because you said not to use secure credit cards, right?
Yeah.
So a pledge loan is very similar because you're putting your own money in there.
Yeah.
So kind of break it down to a person who has no idea what that is. So a secure,
yeah, and
then also how you're doing it with the pledge loan. What does that mean?
Oh my God, yeah, that's an excellent question. Thank you for that. No one's ever asked that. Okay, so with the secured credit card, you're creating a revolving type of credit, right? And typically they will hold on to your money. Right. Say for instance, so people can't afford that. Most people who's in the rebuilding process, all they can afford is $500 or $1,000, right? So if you get $1,000 secured credit card, they're gonna hold on to that money for like 6 months, 12 months, 2 years. Where with the pledge loan, and you're just trapped there. But with the pledge loan, I can take my mortgage money. I've had clients do this. I was like, hey, as much money as you can possibly gather. Can you come up with 4? Can you come up with 5K? It's a 4-day run. So you get approved, you sign the documents. Once you're approved and you sign the documents, they release the money back into your checking account. And what's powerful about the pledge loan, you can take the same money and create a second line.
So
That's
when you
powerful.
say that, so when you say that, let's just say we're going to use the 5K you're using. I got $5,000 cash.
Right.
I start a Navy Fed pledge loan with that $5,000.
Yes.
So now that line of credit of $5,000 goes to my credit report. It shows that I have $5,000 line of credit.
Okay. So let me explain it a little better.
Right.
Okay, so it says that you have a line of $5,000 line of credit. Yes, to answer your question. But when we pay it down, it's also showing that you paid over 90% of that loan off.
Right.
So it affects different data points in your scoring model.
Okay.
So the type of accounts, your debt to income ratio. So I see like an increase of credit. So don't just allow the $5,000. Now it's going to impact you negatively if you didn't pay it down.
So you're saying that as soon as I put the 5K in there, I'm immediately going to take that same money and pay it off with it.
Correct.
And take it down to 90%. And I'm going to leave that balance, which is that percentage, for a certain amount of time. So the line of credit can be established, and it shows that I paid off 90% of it. And after 24 months,
correct,
it'll be like a trade line on my credit report, positive history.
Yes.
And I had up to a $5,000 balance, so my debt to income ratio is low.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Amazing.
Okay, cool. So we just wanted to make sure y'all knew what was going on. But it's important because why is it that will be so powerful for them in the future? What can they do after this process of 24 months? What does that look like for their credit?
Okay, so even after the line is closed down, with installment loans or any type of credit that it was positive and you show a history, it still affects you in a positive way. It impacts your credit profile positively for up to 7 years. So for instance, products and services that you may get in the future, like installment loans or any loans from a bank. So now I'm going for a loan for a bank for like $10,000. What do they tend to do? So, okay, Mike is going for a $10,000 installment loan, a personal loan. They're going to say, well, hey, does Mike have at least a history of a $5,000 loan on his account? Can he handle this? Yep, he did. He did it 3 times. How about that?
So you're basically using it to show positive revolving credit history.
Yes.
So with your clients...
Well, not revolving, installment.
Installment credit history.
Yes.
So once they see that on their credit report, if they were to apply for another one, it would show that they already been able to sustain it.
Correct.
That's good. That's dope. So what do you normally get your clients to apply for after the pledge loan?
So once we do the pledge loan, I like to go for the personal credit card with Navy Federal. Why do I like this? Because this is great for people in the rebuilding process. So even if you still have credit challenges, this is my little cheat. See, you got me giving my little sauce.
Got to. You don't know fluff. You got to give it to them.
This is my little cheat code. I go immediately. So we do the pledge loan, and let me not leave this part out because I don't want you to prematurely apply. Dash check to see if the internal rating has increased. How do you do that? Just go to their pre-approval. See if you're pre-approved for any of their credit cards. Typically in the beginning, when you first get there, before we run these plays, it'll say no. It'll just pop up the secured credit card only. After we run the pledge loan, and then we go like maybe a day or 2 later, and then we go for the pre-approval site to see if we now are approved for any credit cards, all of them will pop up, right? So that's when I can say it's safe for you to go ahead and apply. I have not personally, I'm not a financial expert, I'm just here sharing my experience. I personally have not gotten less than $25,000. And this is why it's so powerful. One guy had 2 collections, active collections that we were trying to get rid of. Another person had like a 3-year-old bankruptcy on there, $25K. What do I do after that? Okay, we're in the business of building business credit. Hey, Navy Federal is liking you right now. Let's get a business account, right? And I never heard anyone talking about this, not even in my circles.
Right.
It was just something I did one day, and I was like, well, let's see if they'll give you some business credit too.
Right.
15K, 25,000 is what I'm seeing. So instantly, by running that one play that I just gave you, you can walk away with up to $50,000 while you're in the rebuilding phase, while you're under credit restoration.
And you got a relationship with Navy Federal, and it's a positive one, which is why they're giving you these access to these accounts.
Yes.
Perfect. And then, so now, that was a perfect sauce, and that was well, explained. So a lot of people probably would have never knew until they watched this episode, which is why y'all need to watch it.
Take heed, take action. I'm
So,
telling you.
Now, after someone gets funding like this, what do you recommend they do? Because a majority of the people's issue was why they had bad credit in the first place is because they're probably not good at managing money. So what's the second step of the advice once they're able to get these type of funding options? What would you give them advice to do?
Immediately get mentorship and guidance. Immediately. If you found yourself in this situation, that's exactly what I did. Once I lost it all, I knew there was a gap in my learning, and it was financial literacy.
Absolutely.
I was led. Yes, I knew how to make money, but I didn't know what to do with it. I had $150,000 liquid cash. I know you wouldn't have advised me to do anything like that.
Right.
Right? So I went out and I got mentorship.
Okay.
Immediately.
Okay, so that's step one. Get your funding and pull it. So no, let's go back. Let's go back one step.
Okay.
Let's go back one step. So before they even go and do the pledge loan, should they do anything as far as with their credit report, or should they pull it? Like, tell them step by step. You find a novice on the street.
Okay.
Step one, before the Navy Fed play. Before that, what are we doing?
Ooh, he giving y'all the juice.
Yeah.
Okay, we're giving you a literal blueprint right here. All right, so the first thing you want to do is pull your personal credit report, right? We have to see what we're working with. Pull your personal credit report. If you got like a lot of collections, charge-offs, late payments, things of that nature, just seek help. I highly I just do not believe in you taking a lot of your personal time trying to learn the FCRA and getting rid of these things yourself, right? When I say FCRA, guys, I'm talking about the Fair Credit Reporting Act. It's an act that's created to protect consumers on their personal credit report. So we have the right to get any and everything off, right? However, pull that, see what you're working with. Once you get a clear understanding of that, do I need credit restoration? Or, I just did this to someone last night, actually. People don't consider this either. And let me share this piece of juice. He had a Verizon bill for $285. And he had 2 collections from Capital One. He paid the collections down, but they left it zero balance with the collection on there.
Right.
Number one, guys, once you see what's on there, if you have late payments, let them know that you were experiencing some form of hardship. Give the company a call and see if they can remove it as a courtesy, right? Like, say, for instance, Mike, my friend here. So Mike has a late payment. Let's say Mike is going for a home and he couldn't close on the home simply because they found these 2 late payments on an account. I would simply just advise Mike, like, hey, Mike, just give your creditor a call and say, hey, me and my wife is looking to close on a home. We were unable to do so. By chance, are you able to remove this as a courtesy? What can we do to get this removed immediately? I've seen a lot of people get late payments removed that way, all right? When it comes to charge-offs and there's small balances or there's something that you know you can pay immediately, I highly recommend you do that first. Wasting your time trying to dispute a $284 bill is just really not worth your time.
Better off you just paying it.
Exactly. But before you pay it, guys, you have to ask for a paid for delete letter. Make sure you have efax.com, right? It's free for 7 days. So be prepped to receive the letter either via fax or email. Tell them, like, hey, I'm really ready to settle this bill today, right now, but I need a paid for delete letter. A paid for delete letter is you stating, a letter stating that we will delete this completely off your credit report upon payment.
Facts.
And that's what he did not do. So he paid the bill without that paid for delete letter. still showing collections, even though it's zero balance, is still rated negatively on his report.
Absolutely. And a lot of people don't understand that part right there. That letter of deletion is probably more important than damn near you paying it.
Yep.
Because once it's just sitting on there, it's going to be a negative account because it was negative for however long and it's still a collection. But I would say to make sure that y'all ask for them to settle it for half too. I always go for that one. So a lot of
for lesser amount.
Yeah, a lot of times they'll take half and then still give you that letter of deletion. So I would advise that, you know, hey, you know, I'm not in a position financially to pay the whole thing, but I do have half. If that can settle the amount, and also not admitting that it is your debt.
Oh, that's a good one,
So make sure y'all don't admit that it's y'all debt, but just let them know you want to get it off. But it's not your debt. Make sure you reiterate it. They're always going to say they're on a recorded line, and it's an attempt to collect the debt. They say like pretty much the same thing. But whenever you talk to them, don't admit to the debt. Don't say it's yours, but you are trying to get it off your credit report. And you're willing to, you know, pay half of it to settle it. And a lot of times they'll let you do it. 9 times out of 10, I've been able to get mine half, or less than half.
Yeah, because they're happy. They're happy you're paying something.
Right, because sometimes they pay like, you know, 50 cents for that whole thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And what I mean by that, a lot of these debt collection agencies, they buy the debt from someone else and then they hire the team of people to collect it from you. And a lot of times the company is okay with just losing that money they lost from y'all, but the debt collectors bought it for a cheap amount, and then they'll take whatever over what they paid. So that's another play for y'all to use as well. So that was very great advice.
Yes.
I think you've established your expertise here on this thing, and y'all should all use her. I'm gonna tell y'all a personal story that I had did with Miss Cashflows. I had a bunch of hard inquiries on my credit report. I didn't particularly wanna, I was like traveling around at this time, so I didn't wanna do my own hookah method, hang up, call again, keep trying to get my things off my credit report, right? So I said, you know, can you help me out? Because I know you do this credit thing really seriously. Within, I want to say maybe a week, 2 weeks maybe?
5 days.
It was 5 days?
Yeah.
Yo, she got all my inquiries right off from all 3 bureaus. I stamp her 100%, so make sure if you're into that credit, funding, anything, I stand on it 100%.
Yeah.
But you told me about something else you had coming up. They said you had a challenge, right? You're doing one of those online conferences.
I am.
Also, let's talk about that. What's going on with that? And
Oh my God.
Yeah, what is it? Do you know the dates or when is it?
I do. So it's going to be June 5th through the 9th. I'm going to take you from credit to cash flow, everything that you need to know about personal credit, building your business credit profile, getting funding on the back end, all the resources you need, the banks, the plays, the sequences. I'm giving up all the juice, letters for deletion, everything. I want you to win.
Okay, I'll be there. So, I mean, every time I see her speak, anytime I'm following her content, she's always giving me something that I had no idea about. You told me about the American Express play, so I was able to get all of my Amexes. I got them in my pocket right now. Just so we clear, I'll show y'all that it's not a joke, you feel me? Bam, you feel me? Hold on. I got a couple more. Hold up.
Let's go.
They think it's a flex. Hold on. We're going to get them out of here. Bam. You know what I'm saying? I got all of them Amexes on one inquiry, and I got that play from Miss Cashflow.
So powerful.
I'm definitely going to make sure that I am in the building for this 5-day challenge. The website is, what is it?
5-day challenge.
You don't know the website? We gonna put it below. Don't worry.
Put it below.
Look,
So watch the website below.
she's a worker.
No, 5-day challenge, credit to cash.
Well,
it'll be here below, guys.
I'm gonna drop the website below. So this is how you know when we not tech people. I'm not a tech person. I don't do my own websites. I hire someone to do that. Shout out to my brother Anime. But at the end of the day, we're gonna put the website below so you can be able to sign up easy, and we'll make sure we'll put the link that's gonna go straight to your DM. So sign up, 5-day challenge. Go from credit to cash flow. I'm gonna end it on that one because that was a strong note.
Nice.
Thank you again for coming to No Fluff the podcast. But before I get out of here, I normally don't do at the end. Make sure if you want to win that $300, all you got to do is text cash flow to 404-737-1374. Text the word cash flow to 404-7374. And I'm going to be, did I just say that number wrong at the end? 434-737-1374. Text cash flow. I'm going to send y'all $300. We're going to pick one of the people who text that word, and then we're going to be able to announce it on the next show. So until next time, like, comment, subscribe, share, and make sure you tell your mama to show up before she blow up, because she might need some of the info too. You dig? Peace.